Hi, welcome to video 3. I'm still wearing the same shirt. I promise I did wash it between videos. Great to have you here. What we're going to do today is we're going to design a nice looking repeating group so that we can display our Instagram content. And then after that, we're going to create a pop up so that when someone logs into their Instagram and we pull their content, we can select which ones we actually display on the profile. Because remember, in the last video, we pulled about 20 or 50 of someone's posts, and we probably don't want to display all of them. So this will allow someone to choose. All right, let's get stuck in. All right, first thing is to update our data type. So we're going to go into Insta Media and we're going to add 3 fields. So the first one's going to be selected, and that's going to be a yes no type. Click create. I already have it, so I'm not going to. The next one we're going to add is like count, so the number of likes on a post, and that's going to be type number. Again, you create it. I already have it, so I'm going to cancel out. And the last one is going to be permalink. And this is a link to the actual post so people can navigate there. All right, we're going to go into type user now, and we're going to add a new field, which is profile pic URL. And that's going to be type text. And I'll show you where we're going to use this in a sec. Right, now go into your app data into Insta Media, and on each of the posts that we should have pulled, we're going to set the selected as no on each of them. All right, let's go into our API connector, and we're looking here at our user profile get call. This is the one where we pull our username, follower count, media count, etc. Now here, when your Meta app is live, it does actually let you pull someone's profile pic URL. So what I'm going to show you here is that I'm just going to paste in this profile picture URL, and then I'm going to reinitialize the call. Now, because my app is live, I was able to pull this profile picture URL, which means on my Bubble app, I can display someone's Instagram profile picture, which is cool. On our user media call, we're also going to do a similar thing. I've just pasted like count, comments count, and permalink on the end of the get call URL. And when we reinitialize, you can see we've got those extra fields. So we've still got caption, media URL, timestamp, etc. But now we've got like count, permalink, and the comments count, which is exactly what we wanted. All right, back on our page, we're going to drop a group, and we can just call this group body. And inside the group, I'm going to put a repeating group. There it is. And we can call this one maybe repeating group Insta content. Back on our appearance tab, we're going to set the type of content as Insta Media, and our data source, we're going to do a search for Insta Media, where our owner equals the current user, and then close that. All right, we'll make the separators a solid, and the color, maybe an EDEFF2 is a nice one. And then we're going to set a fixed number of rows, just one row, and we're going to make it 3 columns, just like in the Instagram grid. On the layout tab, we're going to remove the min width and uncheck fit width to content so that it expands. And we'll just leave the min height there. All right, we're going to grab a group and we're going to drop it in the cell, and we'll just call it group Instagram content because we're super original. type of content is Insta Media, and our data source is current sales Insta Media. Now on the group, we're going to uncheck fit height to content so it expands. And then we're going to grab an image and we'll drop that in the group. Dynamic data is the parent group's Insta Media's owner's profile picture URL. Insta profile pic URL. There it is. We'll make the width 40, and then we're going to check keep element aspect ratio fixed, and then we'll make the roundness maybe 12. And that's looking nice. Next, we're going to grab some text, drop it in the group, and the dynamic data is going to be the parent group Insta Media's owner's Instagram username. That's a bit wordy, so we're just going to make the canvas placeholder, I don't know, endorser AU is my account, so I'm going to pop that in. We're then going to grab the image and the text, and we're going to group these elements in a row container. We'll switch the order, so make that image first. We'll then center them both. And then on the group Insta Media, we'll add padding 8 all around. And lastly, we'll apply a gap spacing between them of 20. And just going to make this text a little bit bolder. And we're going to find ourselves a group and we're going to drop it in and we can call it group image. Now our type of content is Insta Media with our data source parent groups Insta Media. Then we'll go into the layout tab and I'm going to set the min height as 240. Okay, the shape's looking a little bit weird here, so I'm just going to go on to the bigger group, Instagram content, and we'll say fit height to content. That looks a bit better. We're going to set the background style of this group to be an image, and our dynamic image is going to be the parent group's Insta Media's media URL. And then we're going to center the image. Okay, just pause here. Why did I make it a group with a background image rather than putting an image there? I'm really glad you asked. And the reason is because with the new permalink data that we have, the permalink actually takes us to the Instagram post. So by making it a group, we can put the link on top and be able to click and navigate there, which you wouldn't be able to do with just an image. So that's what we're going to do now. Grab yourself a link element and drop it in the group. We'll make that blank and we're going to go to an external URL, which is going to be the parent group's Insta Media's permalink. And we'll open that in a new tab. And this link element, we want it to cover the whole photo. So we're going to uncheck fit width to content, uncheck fit height to content, and we'll just leave that. That's good. And perfect. Okay, back on our group Instagram content, just going to give ourselves a bit of padding here. I'm thinking 8 all around. Yep, that's a bit better. And we'll do margins as well. We might go 8 on the top and bottom and then 12 on the left and right. Next, we're going to give ourselves a nice border. So we'll pick solid style, a roundness of 8, width of 1, And our old faithful EDEFF2. Oh, not that. EDEFF2. Nice. That's looking good. Right, we're getting near the end here, so we're just going to grab one more group and drop it at the bottom there, and we'll call it group caption. Caption, not captain. And our type of content is Instamedia with the data source parent group's Instamedia. All right, grab some text, drop it in the group, and this is going to be the parent group's Instamedia's owner's Insta username. And just like last time, we'll put in a placeholder, endorser AU so it matches. And then we're just going to copy and paste that. And we're going to clear expression. And then this one's going to be the parent group's Instamedia's caption. And our placeholder, let's do loving life. Super cheesy. All right, we're going to grab the two of these and we're going to group them in a row container. Right, we'll change the name. Group Instamedia caption works for us. And in the layout, we're going to apply a gap spacing, maybe just 2. They are pretty close together. And on our username, we'll just make that a little bit more bold. Yeah, that's looking good. Next, we'll grab an icon and just drop it in the group below. And if you start typing favorite, we should be able to find the heart there. We'll just change the width and height to 24. Good. Grab another text element and drop it in. This one's going to be the parent group's Instamedia's like count. And we'll put a placeholder, 12 likes. And we'll make the font size a bit smaller, maybe 14. And we'll group these two elements in a row container. And under layout, we'll apply a gap spacing of 6. All right, we're going to click previous so that it sits above the caption. And we're going to remove the min height. That's looking better. But I'm just going to change this font back to 14 on both of the text elements. That's looking good. Right, you might have already noticed this, but right now it's just giving us a digit. So we're going to add the word likes on the end. Now let's grab a pop-up and drop it on the page. And we can call this pop-up select Instamedia. Now on the layout tab, we're going to make the width maybe 800 just so it's nice and big. And our height, we'll make min height 500. All right, grab some text and drop it on the pop-up. And the content is going to be select the posts you'd like to display. And then in brackets, we'll put max 3 so they know how many they can choose. Next, we're going to grab a repeating group and we're going to drop it on the pop-up. The content is going to be Instamedia and the data source is going to be do a search for Instamedia where the owner equals the current user. And then close that. We're going to uncheck the number of rows. We'll set columns to 3. Separators, we'll say none. Actually, change my mind. We will go solid separators and we can just leave that color. On the layout tab, We will uncheck fit width to content. We'll remove the min height. And then we'll grab a group and we're going to drop it in the first cell. And we can call this group Insta media. Very original. I'm also going to uncheck fit height to content. And next, just going to go back into the appearance tab and we'll give this a border. So we'll go solid, width, let's go 3. And the color we'll just leave as is for the moment. Our type of content is Insta media, of course, and data source current sales Insta media. We'll grab an image element now and we'll pop that in the group. And the dynamic image is going to be parent groups Insta media's media URL. There it is. On the layout tab, we will leave the width as 320. And I'm going to check the box to keep element aspect ratio fixed. But then I'm just going to go back into the group Insta media and I'm going to recheck the box fit height to content. I'm actually just going to go back onto the image and change the width to 280 just so it fits a bit better on the pop-up. And just on the group Insta media, just going to give ourselves some padding. We'll go 12 all around. Back on the page, we're going to grab a button and drop it down. I'm just going to make it a different blue color. And the label, maybe select posts. That's good. On the layout tab, we'll just make it a little bit wider. 140 is good. And then we'll add a workflow. So this will be when the button is clicked, show our pop-up select Insta media. And we're just going to get rid of that old image. And on the page, we'll just apply gap spacing. 30 looks good. And I'll just change the order of these buttons. So click previous, just so the buttons are closer together. We also need to click on the repeating group here and change the data source. So we've got owner equals current user, and we're going to add selected equals yes. And then close that. Back on the pop-up, we're just going to sort out the workflow. So group Insta media, when that's clicked, we're going to make changes to a thing, and it's going to be the current sales Insta media. Now the field selected is going to be this Insta media's selected is no. So it flips it. So if it's yes, it becomes no. If it's no, it becomes yes. Now we want to put a conditional statement on the image. So when parent groups Insta media selected is yes, we'll do border style. And that's going to become solid. We're going to do border width. And we'll give that a 5. And we'll do border color, something to stand out. My company green works. Excellent. Okay, I've had a bit of a look and it's looking a bit shite. So I'm going to make a few polish ups here. So on our group Instagram content, we're going to actually make it a fixed width. Let's try 400. It's a little bit fat. We might go 360. That's a bit better. And the height, we'll go 480. Okay, that's much better. And on our repeating group here, we're going to fit width to content. Now on our group image, we're going to change the width here too. Let's go with, make it a fixed width. And we're going to try maybe 98%. No, we might just go 100% actually. So we'll make it full width. And that's looking better. Okay, just on this image here, remember that's supposed to be their Instagram profile picture, but if your Meta app is not live, you won't be able to get that data. So this image is going to be blank. So I'm just going to change mine to be their profile picture on my platform so that it's not blank. Okay, last thing, on our caption text here, not everyone has something short and snappy like we do. Sometimes they're really long captions, so we're going to put a max height of 100 to keep it limited. All right, let's take this bad boy for a spin. And how good's that? So we can select the post we want to display. So if I select that, we can see it pops up in the background, looking very snazzy. If we select posts again and we want to display more than one, yep, we can display that one too. Remember with the permalink, we can click it and it actually takes us to the post too. Yay! I'm really glad we got that working. Also, because it would have been a bit embarrassing for me if we hadn't. Now, you might start noticing that you've got this really nice looking Instagram display, and then suddenly the image stops showing up. And the reason that happens is actually because the media URL expires after some time. So, in the next video, I'm going to show you how to set it up to stop that from happening. We'll see you next time.